Hey everyone, it's Melody with Design by Melody. I'm here with my very last post for my November stash kit. I will have my killer kit video after this, but I just wanted to share these. Now, these are not my normal type of videos. I created 4 insert type of things to go in my albums. These are just some little, I guess, memorabilia pieces that I had sitting around that I wanted to include in my albums. Now, there are these 2 with words on them, and these are actually from Studio Calico when I was subscribed to them, and they sent them just as additional things in my kit. And I actually really liked the sayings on them, so I kept them thinking I would do a layout with them, but I'm just going to end up putting them in my album just because I like them. So the first one I'm going to work on is actually this right here, and I'm really not a fan of this photo at all, but we don't have to like every photo that we put in our album, but I thought it was important to include this. So what this is actually, it was in a frame from my graduation from college. And my graduating class, my degree's in social work. I think we had like 8 girls. I think it was 8. It was less than like 12. I do know that. Wow. I think it was 8. There were 8 girls in my graduating class, and we were very close because there were just a few of us. So one thing that one of the girls did, is she got these little frames, and we took our photos near the end of the school year. And then they put our pictures in these frames, and then they were up at our graduation. That way our friends and family could sign them and have little messages on them. Well, I kept mine, of course, but the only problem is it's been in a closet. So I wanted to get it in my album, that way it can, people can see it in the future and I can kind of reminisce on it. So I have cut it down a bit, and I've matted it on this 12 by 12, just kind of distressed looking gray piece of cardstock. I believe it's a My Mind's Eye. I'm pretty sure it's a My Mind's Eye piece of pattern paper. And I'm just going to embellish it a bit. So I had a Studio Calico frame that I cut apart. It's kind of light blue and gold. And so I've cut that apart and just added a little bit to the bottom right and then a little bit to the top left. And that was just to add something to it, because this takes up most of the layout. I have to be a little bit choosy about what I'm going to add on here. Now, I will say there's a very special piece on this, or comment on this frame that I wasn't really expecting to come across, and it was a comment from my dad. And if you've been watching a while, you know that I lost my dad last March. So it's almost been 2 years since he died, but it was kind of nice to see his little comment on there in his handwriting, because his handwriting is extremely specific to him. He had very tiny little handwriting because he was an engineer and he was used to writing on graph paper. And also, anyways, in doing this, it was just a nice little pleasant surprise to be able to see the little comment from my dad, because I do know that he was proud that I was finally graduating, because I think there were some moments there where they weren't sure I was going to make it through. I don't think I thought I was going to make it through at certain points. So anyways, I just am cutting up a few little scrap pieces of paper here to include on the layout. And I apologize, my phone and computer just buzzed. I just got a text message. But anyway, so I'm just adding a few little banners, and the alphas that I included just say graduation day. This photo was not taken on graduation day, but the comments were made on graduation day. I don't know if you guys can hear the roaring in the background, but I'm sitting right beside our fireplace because it's so cold outside and I am dying. I'm just so cold. So I'm sitting beside the fire doing my little voiceover, and it's just so pleasant. I'm actually really enjoying it. I thought about going to get some apple cider out of the kitchen, but yeah, it takes a little bit of effort just to walk to the kitchen, so it's not going to happen. All right, so what I put on that little tab is, it just says I finally made it, and it was just a half circle. And then I have I think I added this on after the fact. There's a little yellow star that's going to go right here, but I'm putting December 1, 2007. Now, I don't think it was actually the first day of December, but it was before the 10th of December, so that's what I'm just going to put December 1. And on that frame, though you can't see it right here, it does say date. So I just put those right beside that. All right, so that completes that one. Now I have this large doily, and this is so stinking cute. Okay, so Kaylin is in preschool at the YMCA, and one of the little girls in his class last year was Chinese, I believe. Oh, I hope I'm getting the details right. So I believe she was Chinese. So she didn't really speak a whole lot of English, especially at the beginning of the year, and she opened up more towards the end of the year. But for Valentine's Day, her and her grandfather made these doilies, and what it was is it says, it has obviously the Chinese symbol there, and then it says, this calligraphy is done by Sophie and her grandpa. And it says that symbol means love. And I just thought I just think this is so cute. I mean, what a creative way, what a unique thing to give to someone on Valentine's Day. And it was very much unique to her culture and not little Valentines like we give here. I just thought it was very special, so I wanted to include it. So what I did is I just wrote a little bit of journaling that says, such a sweet and unique Valentine from a sweet little girl in Kaylin's preschool class. And then I'm adding just a few little bits and pieces at the bottom. I'm going to have that little red arrow. I'm going to end up mounting my journaling on a frame. And then those sweet banners at the top, I just put them on some white cardstock. That way I can kind of manipulate them a bit. I wasn't sure where I wanted to put them, so I'm going to put them up there at the top. But I put them on a bit of white cardstock so I could just manipulate them a bit. And another reason I really wanted to get this in my album is the fact that doily was actually starting to rip a bit. So now after this is complete, I'll be able to put it in a page protector, and it probably will never come back out of a page protector. There's no interactive piece to this, so I don't have to worry about it being handled too much. So it just says sweet friend, and then it says to Kaylin, and then it has obviously the symbol and the little bit that I read you. And I am going to take a star from the same sticker sheet that the word friend is, and I'll put it over there right on top of my little journaling spot. I'm just trimming off the edges here. I kind of like having those things dangle off the page just a tad bit. That way I can, it just looks a little bit more fluid. I'm trying to figure out how to mat this journaling spot, and this is where I go, I'll just use this frame. I can't remember what it said. These are pea pod parts from macho nacho soup, I believe, with jelly bean soup. So it was some sort of boy or dad or brother theme. So I just covered up whatever saying that was. I don't remember. And this pretty much completes this layout right here. I thought about adding a few more things. I have all these little doilies that I cut out, but they don't end up making it. It just doesn't match. And with the floral in the background, it was already busy enough. There was no need to add anything extra, but I'm just going to check to make sure I don't need to add anything before I move on. All right, so now moving on. We're going to do these 2 word quotes. So this first one says, here. I was going to do the green one first, but that's not what I'm going to do. All right, so the blue one actually says, we are all travelers in the wilderness of this world, and the best we can find in our travels is an honest friend. And then this other one says, dreams are for chasing. So the one that says about travelers is Robert Louis Stevenson, and then the dreams are for chasing is Kay Barteski. And I'm just trimming down the dreams are for chasing. The other one was already a square, and it was a nice size. The dreams are for chasing is actually an advertisement for a class that they were offering. So it's kind of a glossy, just 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. The other one, the travelers one, was actually more of a keepsake type of thing. It's printed on a much better quality paper. So the dreams are for chasing. I'm working on these kind of together because I'm not really 100% sure what I want to do with them. Obviously, I put a mat. There's a green chevron mat on the dreams are for chasing. And then on the traveler's one, there is a blue kind of geometric pattern as the background. Now, these are not going to go back to back in my album. They're going to go somewhere throughout the 2014 year. I don't really care where. I like to use inserts. So next time I have just a small photo or something that I need to do an insert on, I'll pull out one of these and make the opposite side the same size. That way I'll have something on the opposite side as well. I have a little bag of doilies, as you can see at the bottom here. I cut them out of paper, but then I also have a few that were already cut apart. I believe I have a few chic tags doilies in there. And so I'm just kind of layering up a few. I have a pink one at the top, and then a dark, I believe it's actually dark brown, almost black, and a pink at the bottom. Thought it kind of tied in the colors nicely together. And now I'm looking at what I can add to this other one. So because it's about travelers, I thought it'd be really nice to add a couple tags. So I use a pink kind of tag, and it just reminds me of what I would think a train ticket would be. I think of those train tickets like that because of the Polar Express, the movie. I think that's why I think of those. But it actually says, "Be the change." And, you know, the quote is kind of all about being, you know, exploring and just kind of being brave and taking chances in a sense of, you know, looking for new friends and all that. But anyways, so I thought that tag that says "Be the change" was kind of fitting. And then I just have a teal ticket on top of that. And then I matted those on a little blue label sticker, and I just cut off the edge. And I'm going to put the other part of this, well, I'm going to attempt to put it up here at the top, but I don't think it actually makes it there. At the top, I'm going to put a few little bits of, what do you call that? A few little bits of washi tape. And I do put that one up there at the top, but it's not going to stay there. So I'm going to use some little bits of washi tape, and it has little potty people on there, boys and girl potty people. And then I'll put another piece of washi that has the date. And I'll end up putting the word any, like A-N-Y, like any date. It doesn't matter. This is applicable to any time. All right, so here's where I'm putting my washi tape with the potty people. And I just did 2 rows and alternating the blue and the white. That way you could see it. And then I'm taking in this date one, and it's very transparent. Yes, transparent. So you can see directly to the back to the other washi tape. So I just matted on a little, or put a piece of white cardstock on the back, and then I'm going to put it right on top. And then I'll pull out my little label stickers, and I'll put the date as any. Like it doesn't matter. It applies all the time. And these are actually some Doodle Bug Design Lily White stickers, and they have tile stickers, they have like the circle key stickers, and then they have kind of a loopy font at the bottom. So I know that something needs to be added here, and I have these sienna stickers, and boy, I finish it on here, and this is where I have that yellow star left on that sticker sheet that I put on that first layout. But I'm adding 2 labels. One says "So Lovely" and one says "Beautiful," and I put them on a bit of white cardstock just to make them stand out a bit more. And then I'm adding a bunch of word stickers at the bottom, and it says "Find your courage, follow your dreams, dare to be different, to the dream where everything is possible, and dare to be yourself." And this pretty much finishes these inserts off. I really like the way that they turned out. I have still photos at the end for you to look at. Please give me a thumbs up if you like this, and also subscribe so you can see the other layouts and projects that I have coming up. All right, thanks guys. Bye.